Hey, what's up guys? Chad here from Wash Wizards, Powerwashing in Jacksonville, Florida. And today we are doing a house wash. We're actually going to be doing a house wash and just a small slab in the back with a concrete table and bench, kind of like custom jammy. So spin this around. So this is the house we're going to be doing today. Going back here. So you can see the fascias, the soffits, pretty bad. The brick really looks good to me. Going to go over it though with a soft wash. I'm sorry, actually going to go over it with a downstream. We're going to downstream this. And you can see the roof is really filthy. I'll talk to them about that later on, but today we're just doing the chimney. You can see the stack right there. It's got a lot of buildup on it. Got a lot of the asphalt runoff from the shingles. We're gonna knock that out. Let's see here. And this is the little pad we're gonna be doing today. So you could see a lot of growth on there, a lot on the side of the concrete of the table. So we're gonna clean that up real nice. I'm gonna move that barbecue out of the way, right? And we'll walk around the house a little bit, right? We always do our walk around, right? Make sure you get everything on camera so you don't get blamed for anything later on. But nice solid home. Let's say about somewhere around 1,800, 2,000 square feet. It's the nice thing about Florida. Most of the homes are one story, so it makes life a little easier. But you know, got the 2 stories too, but I like these nice easy 1 stories. Get in, get out. It's a nice, these are nice. You can do them pretty quick. And if you're doing a roof job, you don't got to worry about falling off the roof because it ain't much higher than 7, 8 feet. Well, probably 8 feet. So I already pulled the hoses. So I got my high pressure hose out already, and we're going to be using today. I'm going to be using 2 different tips to do the downstream. So hold on, got a plane going overhead. Navy. Got lots of Navy bases in Jacksonville, folks. About, I think, 3 major bases here. So tons and tons of, you know, military, and you know, we thank you for your service. And yeah, lots of military. So, like I said, today, doing the downstreaming, I'm going to be using the shooter tip. Actually, yeah, so the shooter tip is going to start reaching up in those higher gables, up underneath those soffits. You know, this kind of tip is great for that kind of thing. You don't got to get up on ladders. You know, this has a really far reach. It's going to pull chemical because it has a bigger orifice. You know, I've talked about on some of the other videos, you know, when you're downstreaming, when you're using a big orifice, it's going to pull chemical. And when you're using a high pressure nozzle, it's going to not pull chemical. It's just going to pull the water through the system. You know, it's one of the ways that you can facilitate when you're going to use bleach or soaps or whatever you're shooting onto the house or the objects, and when you decide you just want to use a rinse without having to go back to the truck or trailer or, you know, whatever your setup is, and, you know, disassemble, say, that downstream injector. You know, another way is with a bypass. Some of you might be familiar. You know, you could put a bypass in. We'll get into that in a different video, but that kind of is a way you could shut off the feed to the injector bypass the injector altogether, but that's manual. You could set it up, actually, I'm sorry, that could be set up on automatic switches, and you know, they have all those kind of, you know, gadgets. But me, I'm very basic. My setup is very basic. It's just built to run, and that's it. And you know, maybe one day when I build my next build and I do it real fancy, hopefully I'm still doing these channel and I can show you guys that. But for now, we're gonna keep it simple. And for all you guys getting into the business, you know, this is really good for you, because this is probably how you would want to set up your trailer. You know, my trailer is, this was my first trailer. I set it up, I built it, you know, went to YouTube University and figured it all out, and talked to some people in the industry and got some tips. And if you do it yourself, you could build it much, much, much cheaper than if you go out there and buy it built. Probably 3 to 1. You know, they're going to charge you 3 times what you can build most of the time. And there's way to use things like your reels, your hose reels. You know, if you're looking to do it on the cheap, you could use hose reels like I used, 130 bucks a piece. You know, they're just regular garden hose reels, except for the high pressure reel. That has to be for high pressure hoses. And you know, you could get out of this with some money still in your bank account. And all right, guys, so what we just did is we just wet down this house, got all the surface temperature cooled down. So now we're gonna get ready to downstream. You always wanna cool the temperature down on any surface that you're shooting before you actually apply the chemical. You don't want it to flash off. You know, you want that surface temperature to be cooler so that, you know, when you do apply the chemical, especially on a hot sunny day like this, you know, it doesn't hit a hot surface, flash off, and then you're gonna oxidize your vinyl or, you know, your metal, you know, garage doors, things like that. That's not what we wanna do, right? We wanna do the opposite. We wanna clean. So, so now I'm getting ready to downstream. So I'm gonna start shooting some of my SH, and let's see what it looks like. All right, guys, so now we have the SH up on the front of the house. I'm just doing the front of the house because that's where there's vegetation. And before I started shooting this SH, you know, I soaked all that vegetation down, and I don't want to get caught up on the sides of the house without attending to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that dwell for about maybe like another 3 minutes. And then I'm gonna soak it all down, because once again, you know, you gotta soak your vegetation down constantly. You know, the things, and you know, windows and doors, you know, you wanna soak them constantly. Just rinse them off. You know, you can't overdo it. You know, the more on a hot day especially that you soak these things, less chance it is that you're killing a bush, you're killing the grass, or you're, you know, corroding a door lock, or, you know, God forbid, corroding an outlet, you know. So these are the things that you got to keep in mind when you're shooting a house with SH. You know, those are the sensitive areas. You want to make sure you rinse them down quick. Don't let them sit there and dwell too long. You could already see it's really pulling off all that, you know, that growth. It's starting to already shine up. You know, that's one of the things about vinyl. Vinyl is really quick. You know, it's not like stucco or brick. You know, this is a brick house, but it's really in great shape. There's barely any growth on the brick itself. All the growth was on the vinyl. So downstreaming, my experience, and you tell me, I would love to hear your comments. You know, I let it dwell for like 4 minutes to 6 minutes tops and rinse it off, and 99% of the time it's good to go. Unless it's like one of them vinyl sided houses that's just a wreck. You know, but something like this is real quick. I'm gonna use my J-rod. I'm gonna use a high pressure tip so it doesn't pull any of the SH. I actually took my line out of the SH, but if it was in the SH, because I'm using a high pressure nozzle right now, it won't have the chance to pull SH. It'll only rinse. So, you know, just remember when you're downstreaming, big size orifice is gonna pull soap or SH, and small, high pressure is gonna just rinse. All right, let's get it. Whoops. Oh, might wanna turn the throttle up. Yeah, my bad. Good pro tip, turn your throttle up when you're gonna spray. All right, I had to get the hat. Getting sprayed every which way, you know, I mean, may look a little dorky, I don't know. My wife says so, but I really don't care. You know, keeps me a little drier. It definitely keeps the sun off. You know, here in Florida, that is something you're fighting. If you're in one of the states, stay hydrated. Hydration is life. So, now we're gonna hit this same process. We're going to give it a quick rinse, cool down that temperature as best we can, and then we're gonna spray it with some SH and go from there. Hey, just real quick, I'm gonna spin the tripod around and you're gonna see, you know, electrical panels, any wiring, you know, your internet, telephone lines, you know, try not to spray those directly with your solution, you know, your SH. You don't want it getting back behind there. You don't want to push it in. You know, what I like to do, right now I'm just running water, so I'll just show you. What I like to do, if this was SH, I would be over here. I would stop right there, come up the side, right there, little at the bottom, and I might just hit the top sideways like this, and that's it. The rest, I just let it do its job. You know, what you don't want to do is this. You know, don't do that. You know, this is once again just water, so I'm not doing exactly what I'm telling you not to do, but don't do that. All right, so I just want to bring something to your attention. If you take a look at this fascia, this is right here. Here's your soffit, here's your fascia. Soffit underneath, fascia, for anybody who don't know. You can see there's paint is peeling up, okay? And this is the exact reason why you never want to hit anything on a house with pressure. Because if you hit that with any kind of pressure, even the, you know, the long shot tips, all right? Oh, I don't have it on me again. Oh, it's on the gun. You know, but even like with a J-rod, right? So if you hit it with that high pressure tip, okay, it's gonna knock a ton of that paint right off. And you know, the customer's not gonna go for that, right? They don't want to hear that it's old. They don't want to hear that it's 30 years old and it's shot. I mean, look, you know, here's old paint coming off. But I guarantee you that if you make it worse, you're going to have an unhappy customer. So this is why we don't hit anything with pressure. You know, you just want to hit it with a light, you know, just a light pressure, and that's it. You know, when you're rinsing and when you're soaping. So let me get this downstreaming and get this thing knocked out. All right, so we got the two sides done. I want to show you something, because this is something that some of you out there, you know, especially if you're just starting out, you might overlook something like this, and it's pretty important. So we're getting paid today just to clean the house, not to clean the driveway or the walkway, okay? So a lot of yous out there might say, well, you know, these leaves were here before I got here, so why do I have to take care of them? I'm not getting paid to do that. Well, something like that, it's just a good rule of thumb to, you know, go that extra mile. You know, it's not really a big deal to, hold on a second, let me shut my bucket overflow off. There we go. All right, sorry about that. So it's not such a big deal. You know, you got a high pressure nozzle on, you know, the pressure just blows those leaves right out of there. It's literally gonna take you less than 5 seconds to do it. You know, go that extra mile, do it. Your customers are gonna appreciate it. So let's take a look at what we got. Nice clean soffits. Once again, you can see the paint chipping off. Had nothing to do with that. That was there before I got here. And I got the video to prove it, right? That's the whole reason that we do that walk around. You know, do that walk around. It is crucial. You know, a good policy is to send, send the a video link to your customers, showing them the walk around, you know, so that, okay, so up in here, I still got a little something going on here, so I'm gonna get in here and rinse a little bit better. But other than that, it really looks pretty decent. Now, don't forget, you know, these gutters, you're gonna look at them and you're gonna say, oh, they're not perfect. Well, I didn't get paid to do a gutter bright. You know, if I was here doing a gutter brightening, they would be perfect. What I'm here to do is a house wash. It's gonna get pretty much everything off to this point. If you want gutters that are spick and span clean, then you're gonna have to go the extra mile and go for the gutter brightening. You know, because truthfully, those gutters gonna have to get hit with a different chemical, probably even agitate them a bit to get them, you know, spick and span, you know, and that's an upcharge. You know, my job to house wash something, you know, is to get all the organic growth off of it. You know, gutter brightening doesn't really fall into that category. You know, that's not organic growth. I killed all the organic growth. Now we're talking about certain types of stains, you know, and the stain removal is a different process, and it's an extra step, which is an upcharge, you know. But as far as I'm concerned, for a house wash, this is pretty much what I would expect to see. You know, we got 90% of all that stuff off the fascias. You know, if I was to get in here and start agitating this, I'm scared I would start chipping a lot of this stuff off, being that this paint is flaking as bad as it is. And like I said, if we're, you know, I mean, pretty much that's what it looked like before, and this is what it looks like now. You know what I mean? So for 275 bucks on an average house wash here in Florida, I think that's a pretty good job. And most of my customers always agree with that. You know, I try to go the extra mile when I can, but I'm not gonna start doing a lot of extra work that I'm not being paid for, because time is money and this is a business. That's just my business philosophy. I would love to hear yours. drop me a comment. Let me know if you think I'm right or wrong. But that's how I've been doing it, and I think I'm gonna keep doing it that way. So we're gonna get on to the last two sides, which would be a lot easier because I can knock them out together because we don't have any vegetation problems. So once again, we got this side and the back, plus we got that little pad we're gonna surface clean, and that's it, we'll wrap it up. All right, guys, we got the house house washed. So right now, I'm just gonna hit this concrete table and chairs, and I'm gonna cut out all the concrete with my power washer and my fan tip, high pressure fan tip, around it, every place that that my surface cleaner can't get. So, typically what we'll do is we'll do all the edges, maybe like 4 inches in around the whole perimeter. Feather out the corners a bit because the surface cleaner is round and it can't get into those corners, so we'll hit those. It's kind of like called etching the concrete. And in this case, because obviously the surface cleaner can't get in between those concrete stools, I'm going to etch out all that inside, and we're going to finish this up. So let's do it. Sorry about that. All right, so what I did is I used the high pressure fan tip on the J-rod. Now, here's a note. I pre-treated this, so when I was applying chemical with the downstream, I actually hit the concrete a couple times. Now, it's not the typical pre-treat. Usually, when I got a piece of concrete that's this dirty, I'll hit it with like 3, 4, 5%, SH, depending, I would say honestly, something like 4% is probably the right number, but I would hit it with like a 4% SH, pre-treat the concrete, let that SH dwell on that concrete, killing all that, bacteria, organic materials, and then come in and hit it with your surface cleaner. So what I did here is I etched out the concrete, which it's a small piece of concrete and it had all this around it, so I had to etch all this. So it really doesn't leave very much for the surface cleaner. But in the effort of making a thorough video, I wanted to bust out the surface cleaner instead of finishing it up with the wand. And then after I'm done with it, I'm gonna post treat it, which means I'm gonna hit it. I'm actually gonna make a pretty hot mix and hit it with a sprayer. I'm just gonna spray it on. If it was a larger piece of concrete, I would probably hit it with the soft wash system and just hit it with like a 4% mix and post treat it, which means after you're done, you hit it with that 4% mix and you just let that 4% mix sit on there. What that's gonna do is it's gonna kill anything that the surface cleaner missed. And sometimes you get those like zebra stripes with your surface cleaner. Well, this is how you get rid of them. You post treat your concrete, and that's it. So we'll put you back on the pod and finish this up. All right, guys, we're all done here. Just finished up. Put the surface cleaner away. That's what she looks like. Came out pretty clean. This is pretty old concrete, so you're never gonna get that perfect. Some of the staining gets deep down into the pores over years, and no matter what you do, it ain't coming out. But we're gonna post-treat this, and you know, it'll clean it up a bit more. But for the most part, it looks pretty good. A lot better than it did. And there's the house all finished. Soffits look great. Chimney's nice and cleaned up. Take a quick walk around the front. Oh, let me grab my, grab my tripod so I don't have to come back that way for it. You can see the soffits. The fascia's looking good. Brick looking real nice. Windows clean, no streaks. Yeah, I'm happy. It looks good. Still some wetness on the siding, but for the most part, looks pretty good. Nice and clean. Got rid of those leaves that were in the walkway. I mean, basically, this house next door is what it looked like when we got here. Those soffits and those fascias, and that's what we got now. Real nice. Customer's happy, I'm happy. Get a nice Google review and move on to the next. Hope you enjoyed this. Drop me any comments if there's anything I missed or something you might want to know. And I'll see you on the next one. Check out these videos above for more information on the world of power washing, soft washing, exterior cleaning. I'll see you on the next one.